I'm the Magpie, and this Monday I am here with in my opinion, really cool Casio VL-1 that I have magpied. And I have recorded how to do this. It's actually really easy because all I have done, like every single thing here, is literally just a little bit of a spin on doing a pitch modification. And doing a pitch modification on the Casio VL-1 just happens to be really easy. But let's take a second to just look at how cool it looks. Wow. That looks really cool. So, for the uninitiated, doing a pitch modification is like the staple piece of circuit bending. For me, in many cases, that's where it starts and ends. Like, I really enjoy just doing a pitch modification on things because it's such a usually very easy thing to add to something that just unlocks this whole new dimension of what you can do. But of course, there's a lot more you can do with circuit bending. But I wanted, with this, the VL-1 specifically, see if I could take the pitch modification as far as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna show you at the end of this video. We're gonna cut to when I recorded doing it. But you literally just replace a resistor that is super accessible on the PCB, and you can replace that with a whole bunch of different things, I guess is what I'm saying. And like the most common thing to replace it with is a potentiometer. So another thing that is also really easy to do if you are putting a part in there is one of these, which is a pressure resistor. So it's essentially a potentiometer, but it's based on the amount of force you apply. So you can do all kinds of silly things like I just did. And maybe with the silly VL-1 drum sounds, we can finally get like a tape stop on the glorious drums. It's the drums of the VL-1. Wow, that's so cool, right? Then another thing that is actually pretty common to do when you are circuit bending is you find a point. In this case, it's the same point as the resistor on the inside to begin with, but you find a point where if you touch there, just your being sort of pitches down what is going on. And that is what we have here. Because that means I can do stuff like that. Which was surprisingly cool, actually. But yeah, just getting anything that is metallic. I really enjoy just getting a banana jack and then sticking things in banana jacks for doing stuff like that. I've done it on all kinds of stuff. Lastly, of course, I also put a sequencer here. And this sequencer is actually a really straightforward thing to do. You just do, if you want to Google it, it's called like Baby 8 or Baby 10 sequencer with the 4017 chip. And then you have that sequencer light up a bunch of LEDs and you create your own Vactrol with an LDR then, which is a light dependent resistor. So it's kind of like these two, but instead of reacting to your force or just where you put it, it's based on the amount of light you shine on it. So if we turn that on, then we're gonna see here that it walks a bunch of steps. And all of these steps, what they are doing, they are lighting up this LED more or less. And of course, since I have done sequencer-based stuff, like this really cool patterns pedal, as a 5-step sequencer, I implemented all of the things that I have done. Like I just put the microcontroller in here so that I can actually do tap tempo and I can do manual walking because I figured that was fun to do. Together with this, I have actually created this, which I call ExSec or expression sec, as in expression sequencer, because I figured there's not a lot of that on the market at the moment. I know of like one expression pedal sequencer, but this one is just what this is. So you can take these two outputs and then plug that into stuff that you're circuit bending if you want to, but you can also plug it into an expression jack of a guitar pedal, because it actually works the same. That's also just a glorified big pot. So you can essentially get a sequencer into any pedal you want to. And I actually gave you the dual output option here, so you can control two pedals with one sequencer. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on this next week instead, because I wanted to focus on this. But I figured, wow, I'm a cool person. I'm gonna put that in my web shop, because I don't know if I'm gonna make more. I made it more or less just for me if nobody likes that idea, but I really like that idea. So I'm gonna, I wanted something where I can, instead of having to do this on everything that I circuit bend, I'm just gonna put jacks on everything that I circuit bend. I know I'm pointing a lot behind you. I started doing it on a cat keyboard. That's why I'm pointing. Yeah, expression sec, magpiepedals.com if you're interested in that. Link is in the description. Now let's continue with this. I opened up the Casio KX101 project that I started. I figured out something to play to it. I figured it was thematically kind of nice. Okay. It's definitely not necessarily made for this type of thing, where I'm supposed to play nicely. It's way more made for, this. No. This. But I still want to do this. That's who I am. Yeah, that's who I am. But yeah, I don't know. That's a bizarre latency. I think I need to sample stuff, make a sample pack. But if you have a VL-1 and you want to do this, let's now cut to me showing how to do it, because it is really, really easy to do. And if you pick up one of these, you can just put a jack on it and plug this in instead of figuring out how to do the sequencer. Okay, today I am here with an open VL-1. And I really shouldn't have done that. We need to access this blue side of the board. So I figured I could show you on a second VL-1 to just go through all of the steps. And yeah, you have to start with getting rid of all the screws to get inside. And then there's actually a hidden screw, which is always annoying. Whoa. Behind the batteries, there are even 2 screws. This one being a bit nasty. And then a couple of these. I don't know if you have to get rid of all of them or just a couple. We're gonna notice. I think at least 1, 2. Those 2. Oh. And then you're in. Haha. And now we're accessing the brown sides of these PCBs. So what you want to do then is you want to unscrew all of these screws and then just bend it up and mine the screen. When you have done that though, and made sure that this screen that is just attached with this one, you sort of just have to, it's not attached by anything other than, I don't know, gravity. But when you access this blue side, we are going to focus on just one single component. So it's extremely easy. That being this little resistor here. Because this resistor is attached directly to, so you can see these 3 big points here, which is this trim pot. Meaning that if we cut that off and replace it with a potentiometer, we're gonna be able to go down and up in pitch. So that's all I intend to do. Just gonna cut this, and we can save it. I mean, you could desolder it, that could be maybe even smarter. But yeah, just gonna save this. Gonna put it on eBay, haha, no. But, and then, instead now, between those 2 pins, I'm gonna put a pot. And this pot is a 1M pot. It's my biggest value, and that seemed to just work flawlessly on the CK10, so hopefully it works now. And what I have done is I have soldered 2 out of the 3 legs together and then put 100 ohm resistors here. That's something you maybe don't necessarily need to do, but going from side and side, we're gonna put wires and then just soldering the middle pin to one of the 2 sides. And if you notice that the pitch is going in the wrong direction, so I mean, you can pick whichever direction you want, but generally speaking, I like pitch going down counterclockwise. So if you notice that pitch is going up counterclockwise, you just switch to solder the center pin to the other side instead. So very easy, and this is how you set it up. So I'm gonna attach wires to these 2 resistors here, and then I'm gonna attach the wires here to the PCB, the original resistor points. And then we're gonna test it. So everything seems to work kind of flawlessly, except the screen. So the screen is just glitching out, but very, like, it's not even lighting up that much. But you can still do like ADSR stuff, I guess. I hope. Yeah.